Hello, my name is Ragnon. I play Holy Priest primarily on the Area 52 server as Horde, dabbling in the other specs as well. This is going to be my intro to Arena Holy Priest guide. Just a disclaimer, I'm by no means a pro. The highest I've ever been was 1800, and that was back in patch 8.3. Haven't done a whole lot of arenas in Shadowlands, but the reason I'm making this guide is because sometimes I feel like it's helpful for newer players to hear advice from somebody who's in the middle of learning rather than somebody who's been doing it for a while. Because sometimes when you're at the tippy top, you don't realize what people don't know just because you've been doing it so long. So I'm going to talk through my talents, build setup, and some general guidelines, and then we'll open LFG and start getting into some games. So first thing first, let's go over our talents. So I am running this talent build here. Renewed Faith. Your healing is increased by 10% with targets with Renew. This is really nice. It increases your healing throughput on somebody who's taking damage. Trail of Light's not super helpful. A lot of times you're focusing on casting instant skills, and I guess this would probably be second best. Enlightenment, the games go fast. It rarely goes to the stage. It's just such a bursty meta, so Renewed Faith really helps you get that throughput that you need to keep somebody alive. This row I do switch out. Angelic Feather's kind of my go-to. This is really nice so that you can have a quick speed boost when you're running up to like Fear the Healer or something like that. This is kind of a nice go-to. I don't run Body and Soul at all. I do run Angel's Mercy if I'm against a double DPS comp, or if I'm against something with like a Windwalker or some kind of DPS that's going to be, if they're focusing me, I'm not going to get away. Like, there's no real purpose in having a speed boost against a Windwalker. They're just going to stick on you and you can't really get away. So Angel's Mercy reduces the cooldown of Desperate Prayer, which is a very nice defensive. So just a little bit of extra help. In this row, exclusively taking Guardian Angel, ideally using Guardian Spirit and not proccing the death so you can use it once every minute. In this row, I'm pretty much exclusively using Censure for the stun. The stun is really nice for setting up kills. Holy Priest has the benefit of being able to use Apotheosis for a double stun, which is really nice. I guess you could use Shining Force if you're, for example, on the arena with the bridge in the middle. You can use that to knock melee DPS off and stuff like that, so that can be kind of nice. Psychic Voice, you can use that to set up fears on the healer more often, but I just run with Censure. In this row, exclusively running with Surge of Light, it's really nice to be able to bank up those instant cast Flash of Lights. They are lifesaver, and it also helps a little bit with mana efficiency. The other two aren't really worth taking. In this row, Benediction, you have so many other spells that you need to push in your rotation. I don't really find a use for Divine Star or Halo. It's just kind of nice to get the extra Prayer of Mending Renews, which synergizes well with your Renewed Faith talent, so there's that. And then this row, Apotheosis is the absolute king for PvP. It's so nice to be able to just instantly reset your holy words in an emergency situation and be able to throw out a quick Serenity, or there's some cool stuff that you can do with like a Chastise into an Apotheosis into a second Chastise for either a bunch of damage or a longer stun, or stunning both targets or something like that. There's just a lot of outplay potential that you can do with Apotheosis. Quite nice. PvP talents, this is my default setup. I do change out Cardinal Mending for certain comps, and I'll talk about that in a second. Cardinal Mending heals the target for 10% of their maximum health, and it ignores any kind of Mortal Strike healing reduction effects, which is very, very strong. Unfortunately, I heard this is getting nerfed in 9.1, but this is one of the big reasons that Holy Priest has been so strong and has, in a lot of ways, overtaken Disc as the meta for arenas in Shadowlands so far, which is really cool. Greater Fade is a must-have. This is an awesome defensive. It replaces your Fade skill with a new skill, Greater Fade, and it increases it to a 45-second cooldown. Your movement speed is increased by 50%, and most melee ranged and spells miss you, and it lasts for 4 seconds, or until you take a hostile action. So don't use this and then immediately start smiting or something. But what this does is it makes it so most attacks miss you, with the exclusion of things like kicks. You can still be kicked while you're in Greater Fade, but you're essentially immune, which is really nice. And then Miracle Worker, your big skill, your Holy Word Serenity, now has 2 charges and a 25% reduced cooldown. This is so good, because it's unkickable. You can just throw it out there. It's your biggest heal for single target, and it's very nice to have 2 charges. Very welcome. Also, a nice benefit that you can have is, for example, if you've used a charge and you have 1 charge and then you use Apotheosis, your recharge on your Serenity gives you another charge, so you go back up to 2 stacks, so you don't have to worry about casting both of them before you Apotheosis, which is pretty nice. Now, I do change out Cardinal Mending, and I change it out for Thought Steal. Thought Steal is a very cool PvP ability. You can use it on a target, and you steal an ability from them for 20 seconds, and depending on what the class is, it's always the same ability. The comps that I use Thought Steal for is any comp that has a mage. When you Thought Steal a mage, you steal Polymorph, so they're not able to use Polymorph for 20 seconds, and you can. Usually I just use this as a defensive thing, so that when I'm versus like Rogue Mage or something, they can't set up Polymorphs on me and burst down the DPS. So this is really nice. It essentially shuts them down for 20 seconds on one of their big CCs. You can also use it on a Warlock. When you use it on a Warlock, it steals their fear, which is really cool. So that's Thought Steal. I pair this with a macro. I'll show you in a second. I'll go over my macros. I use it on a cast at focus on my focus target. There are some other cool talents that you might consider using. I've played around with Spirit of the Redeemer. This just makes, instead of dying, you can use it as an active ability, your Spirit of Redemption. And so you can use this during a double DPS burst comp. If they're going on you and you just need another defensive, you can use that, go into Spirit of the Redeemer. Sometimes they'll think you died, and they'll just ignore you, and you'll have a couple seconds even after it ends, which is kind of cheeky, but you can use this to just have instant full healing on your partner, and not have to worry about being kicked or anything. There's some cheesy stuff that you can do with Ray of Hope. I suggest looking up some other videos. I don't do it. I'm scared to try it. But essentially, you can look it up. There's a cheese that you can do with it. It's pretty cool. Greater Heal used to be the go-to in BFA, but now with the 15-second cooldown and with Miracle Worker, there's really no big use for that. I wouldn't recommend that. Concentration can be good if you can use it the right way. It creates a patch that makes you and all allies who stand in it immune to silenced and interrupt effects, depending on your partner. If you have like a Warlock or some kind of a more immobile caster that can also benefit from this, can be pretty nice. I've stopped using it just because I feel like the talents that I have is enough. And then Holy Ward, there's some cool uses for this. This wards you against the next full loss of control effect, or you can use it on an ally, and you can do that every 30 seconds. So Holy Priest is quite defensive and is pretty tricky to lock down, so pretty cool. As far as gear goes, my verse is not the best. You want to be going for verse. My item level is also lower because this is my PvP set that I'm still working on. But just your stat priority is going to be verse, and then whatever you can get after that. Probably haste is another good option just for faster casts, and which also benefits your damage. As far as trinkets go, obviously you want your medallion, which you can use to break CCs, and then this one I do change out. This is my passive trinket. It increases your haste and then also has a chance to proc your primary stat, which is pretty nice. But versus double DPS comps or something with I don't know, something with a rogue or something where I'm worried about being trained down and dying, I run the Battlemaster's trinket here, the Gladiator's emblem. This increases your max health for 20 seconds on a 2-minute cooldown, and I've actually got this macroed with Desperate Prayer, which is really cool. Also, it is an on-use trinket, but it doesn't put your medallion on a 20-second cooldown like other on-use trinkets. So I'll show you my macro here. When I use Desperate Prayer increases your max health by 25% for 10 seconds, along with this, which increases my max health by 11,781 at this low 207 item level. So right now I've got 38.8k health. When I use my macro, I pop up to 63k health. So you can use that during or before a burst. Also I'm full health, but it didn't show it. It also heals you by 25% of your max health. So that's just a very, very quick way to get very tanky and essentially double your health so that you're that much harder to kill. Very nice. It's a nice pairing right there. Let's talk through macros real quick. So as far as macros, I have mouse over macros for all of my abilities. I also double up offensive with healing abilities because Holy Priest has so many skills. So a good example of that is my Pain right here. You show tooltip, Shadow Word Pain, and then I use this formula for just about all of my abilities. Cast at mouse over if it's a friendly target and they're not dead, it casts Renew. So when I mouse over myself, it casts a Renew. And then harm, if my target, if I'm not mousing over a friendly target, then it checks if there's a harmful target that's targeted and I'm not channeling penance, because this is also my disc macro as well, then it will cast Shadow Word Pain. So hovering over me, casts Renew, otherwise it casts Pain on the enemy. So I've got that doubled up. So you can see down here on my ability bar, I've got Smite, that also is doubled with my heal. Flash heal is just by itself. I didn't want that having an offensive ability with it. I want that to be just pure by itself. Pain is paired with Renew. Holy Fire is paired with Prayer of Healing, the group party heal. Serenity is also just by itself. I don't have an offensive skill with that. I don't want to accidentally be using charges. Circle of Healing is paired with Shadow Word Death. And then my shield is paired with Solace for when I'm playing Disc. My Purify is paired with Dispel to purge. Apotheosis is it's not. I have a macro just because it switches with what abilities on that talent row. That's not really a mouse over macro. Guardian Spirits by itself, it's just a general mouse over macro. For my abilities like Serenity, Flash Shield, Guardian Spirit, I use the same macro template. I just don't type in a skill for this second offensive spot, and that allows me to put one there if I ever wanted one, but I don't. Prayer of Mending is not paired with anything, it's just by itself. The macro that I use for my Desperate Prayer is right here. Where's it at? Show Tooltip Desperate Prayer, and then cast Desperate Prayer, and also cast the Gladiator's Emblem. And then I mentioned I have a cast at focus target for Thought Steal. So if I switch out for Thought Steal here, well, I'm not in war mode, so it's not going to show it. It still shows the question mark, but show tooltip's Thought Steal, that will show the tooltip and the cooldown. And then this is my kick macro. It's really, really nice. If you have somebody set as a focus, then when you cast that ability with using this macro, it's going to cast it on your focus. If you don't have a set focus, if you forgot to or something, then it will cast it on your active target. So this macro is fantastic. I also use it for my silence when I'm playing Shadow, all that good stuff. I did have one for my mind games, but I found I'm using it more often on a DPS than the healer, but it's there if you want it. So that's my macros. Oh, there's one. I'll show you this one just for fun, in case you, for some reason, don't know about this beautiful feather macro. This macro takes your angelic feather and casts it right on your feet, so that you don't have to, fiddle with it on the ground. And then if you're holding Alt while you push the key, then you will place it on the ground for somebody else. Now, my keybind for putting down feather is Shift X, so Shift Alt X is not a very friendly keybind. Hello? Hello there. So I actually just have a separate keybind for when I'm putting it for allies. But yeah, you just push Shift X or whatever your keybind is for feather, and boom, you're off to the races. Pretty cool. Okay, let's talk through real quick game plan on playing Holy Priest. So Everything that I'm talking about is going to be from a 2's perspective, because I have very little experience with 3's, and I'm still working on that. But in 2's, you're going to be paired with another DPS, and you can essentially go with any DPS, but some of my favorite combos have been melee players. Been doing a lot recently with DKs. You can also go with Demon Hunters, Ret Pallies. You can set up pretty well with mages. Mages work pretty well. Rogues. You can make any kind of DPS comp work, but I've found playing with melees can be pretty nice, because they're a little bit more independent if you get separated. Essentially, when the gate opens, my game plan is to cast Prayer of Mending on the allied target, and Renew, and then I cast Renew on myself, and then I mount up, and that gets things rolling. And then from there on, it's going to be dependent on your matchup, but you want to always make sure that you have at least one Serenity charge banked up, so that if there's an emergency, you can blow it. Your first cast should always be Prayer of Mending on whoever's taking damage, because that will keep stacks bouncing around, which is very good passive healing. And essentially, when you're going for a kill, Holy Priest has the benefit of having a very high amount of burst through Chastise, Mind Games, Holy Fire. So when we're going on for a kill and our DPS is going for a go, typically what I'll do is I'll either Door of Shadows over to the enemy healer, or if they're nearby, I'll run up using Feather, and then I'll Fear, and that will get them fearing. And then if they trinket it, that's great. Then I can get them with my follow-up stun. And then sometimes I stun the healer. Sometimes I just use my stun on the kill target. It depends if my ally that I'm running with has a stun. If they have a stun and they've already used it on the kill target, it's going to be more useful to use it as a follow-up on the heals. But you don't want to waste too much time watching them run away in fear, and you want to be helping with the kill target. So don't waste a whole lot of time doing that. Your damage rotation when you're going to kill somebody is going to be Holy Fire, Chastise if you're using it on the kill target, otherwise Shadow Word Pain, and then follow that up with a Mind Games into Shadow Word Death. And the amount of killing blows that I've been able to get is insane, because that's a lot of damage that's happening just based off just the tooltip damage here. That's 3,600 plus 8,500 plus Shadow Word Death, which I don't have on my bar, but Shadow Word Death, yeah, that's going to be deceiving because it's increased by 150% to targets below 20% health. But the amount of games that I end with 1 or 2 killing blows is actually really, really cool. So typically we kill the DPS target, but Mind Games is very, very good for killing the healer because it has double duty. It deals the initial damage, which is the highest damage of any of your abilities, but it also converts the next 10,000 healing that they deal into damage, or the next 10,000 damage that they deal to heal their targets. So if you use it on a healer, if they have to use another global to purge, to dispel themselves before they can even worry about healing themselves. Some cool interactions that Mind Games has is if you use it on a Resto Shaman and you bring them below 35% health, a lot of times they'll just instantly die because of their, I don't remember the name of the talent, Nature's Guardian or something, the one that heals them once they dip below 35% health. It gives them a big healing for a percentage of their health. A lot of times that'll just kill them. Also, I believe it kills through the cheat death component of Guardian's Spirit. I've had that happen. So there's just a lot of cool ways. So if your heal target is your kill target, all the better. If not, I've played around, but I do think it's better to just use it on the DPS for the burst. I've messed around with putting it on the healer, but a lot of times the DPS target didn't die fast enough to really stress out the healer, so the healer just dispels themselves, and then they can just heal freely. So that's what I've been doing. But Anyways, that's a quick overview on Holy. Let's jump into some games, and we'll talk through stuff as we go. Alright, so here, Havoc Holy. Holy has a surprising amount of burst damage, so I'll need to be watching for that, especially if they're Vinther. If you see the gimmicky Ashen Hollow go down, then you just need to kite and get off the crap as fast as you can, because it's crazy. And then Havoc Demon Hunter, I'm going to be watching for when he casts the Hunt. When he casts the Hunt, whoever the target is of that is probably going to be his kill target. Can't imagine not hunting somebody and then not following up on that. So going to be watching for that. And you can kind of see by their movements here at the beginning who they're going to be wanting to focus on. So here we go. Prayer of Mending right off the bat. Renew. Mount up. You can see he's targeting Solarian. He's probably going to be focusing him at first, and we'll watch his positioning to see. I don't want to be super close because I don't want them to be able to cleave both of us down, but I want to be at least nearby. Okay, so you can see he's sapping me. Yep. So the kill target's going to be Solarian most likely. Just helping with damage. Okay, we're going to go ahead and throw out a Mind Games and a death there. The first one I just kind of throw out a little bit early. Okay. Try to get it on cooldown. I want to save my Serenity cast. I'm going to go ahead and Greater Fade this. Okay, and I know that his kick is gone, so I'm free to cast unless he uses a stun. Very nice. Okay, and now I'm going to try to bait the kick. Oh, no, there's a stun. I'm going to bait the kick with the Door of Shadows. If he kicks, perfect, I'm free to cast. Follow this up with the Guardian Spirit, because nice bop there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dispel the, whatever that spell is called, off the Paladin. Okay, we're going to run in for a Fear. Holy Fire, Chastise, Mind Games, and Death. Out. Saved by the darkness there. That's big. Okay, Holy Pally is in Wings, so he's going to be very strong right now on healing. We're not going to be able to kill anybody through that. There's the Holy Lock. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Serenity. I was thinking about Apotheosising there. We're kind of tied on the mana war right now. Next go, I'm going to wait until my... Oh, should have cancel casted that. I'm going to wait until my Fear and Mind Games line up. I'm going to follow up with a Fade here. Greater Fading. Apotheosis. So I have some more instant casts. I can cast one more time before I get kicked. Okay, I'm going to Door of Shadows to bait this kick. Nice. He kicked, so we're good to go. Alright, and we're just getting out some extra damage. Nice. Following up with a Fear in 2 seconds, and Fear. Going on Matt Damon. There's Mind Games, following up with the stun. We're going to Trinket and Death. There we go. And that's it. Good game. So there we were able to secure the kill because it was stun, or Fear followed by a stun. Into Shadow Word Death. I used it just a little bit too early, so it didn't finish him off. So we followed it up with some instant casts of Pain to try to get that done. Alright, so here it's a double DPS comp, Ret Pally and Balanced Druid. This is very, very bursty, especially with Convoke. I'm going to be watching the Balanced Druid like a hawk right at the beginning to make sure that he doesn't Convoke. If he, as soon as he Convokes, I'm going to be using my stuns for that. I am going to keep my talents the way they are, but I am going to be swapping to Angel's Mercy. Don't really need speed here. If they're focusing me, I'm going to be kind of stuck, so I'm just going to stick with Angel. Actually, you know what? I think I can stick with Feather because I can use that to kite. I'm going to stick with Battle Masters, though, because that extra bit of survivability is going to be huge. Also, for versus Convoke, you want to be staying close to your ally. You want to be staying close. Okay. I'm just going to... Yep. I trinketed that because I wanted to stun that Convoke. Now I'm Cyclone, but it was worth it. I can get out a quick Serenity, yeah, and since he had Guardian Spirit, it topped him off. He is in wings right now, I think. Is that wings? Yeah, it is wings. Okay. I don't know why I was having so hard of a time seeing that. So I am going to give him PI there. Going for the double stun. Here's Mind Games to get his heal. And so I dispelled the thorns and then the bop. Those are two big things you want to watch for. Okay, we're gonna go for a chastise stun. Yep, right there. Try to interrupt that cyclone. Very nice. And this cyclone's gonna be no, not quite full. Death, 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 death. I don't have death. Nice. Beautiful. All right, Resto Shaman and Frost Decay. So same idea. Although you know what, I was getting away fairly decent. Oh, that was a Demon Hunter. I'm gonna stick with Angel's Mercy. The Resto Shaman is actually a pretty good kill target because again, if Mind Games procs, if they get to 35% with Mind Games ups, they're pretty much dead because they're Nature's Guardian or whatever it's called that heals them up for a percentage of their health will instead damage them. So there's a good chance that they're just gonna die. Oh, I used my prayer minion too early there. That was my bad. Can't cast any abilities before it starts, otherwise they'll just fall off, so don't worry about stacking up heals. There we go, got one up. Okay, and they're trying to pull me out of line of sight. Oh, he is going to go on the Shaman. Nice. Go ahead and Mind Games here. And there we go. There's the burst. Got to kill the Wild Seed, though. Look at that. Would you look at? Brutal, man. Wow. Wow. Okay. Ellie sub. This is going to be very, 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 very bursty. So running Angel's Mercy. Although I don't know how much that's actually going to be helpful because I'm probably only going to get one cast actually. And then the rest is just the game's not going to last past that. Definitely running Battle Masters. One thing to watch out for sub is on their kill target, at one point in the game they will be using duel, and that will make it so that I can't target. No matter how close I get to the target, my ally, I'm not going to be able to target them. So a trick that you can do is you can go ahead and start channeling Divine Hymn, and then as soon as they pop out, then use Serenity to top them off as much as you can. But it just kind of sucks because usually they follow it up with Smoke Bomb. One trick that you can do is try to get in combat as fast as you can. He's way too far away. I'm not going to be... Okay, good, he's pulling back. Yeah, because if he stayed over there, we'd be kind of screwed. Nice early use of Smoke Bomb, so that's cool. So we don't want to stay super close to each other, because what happens is that lets the rogue be able to swap between us for CCs super easy. Shaman has good off heals, that kind of sucks. Nice nice wind shear there. And for the polymorph, we'll go into melee range and try to get cleaved down, and nope. Looking at Apotheosis here. I'm expecting a duel sometime soon. Killed Earthbind. If he pops out again, I'm going to use a stun. There's a stun. Mind Games to kill his off heals. He can't dispel that. Oh, Grounding Totem, you jerk. You little jerk. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fade this. Bait the kick. Oh. Bait indeed. There's the bait. There's the Hex. I'm going to follow this up with a Battle Masters next time I'm scared, which I'm not scared. So we're alright. Shadow Lock, nice. Baiting the kick with the Mind Games. Yeah, Sub just has to like open and then run. Oh, there's the Earth Elemental, and that actually kind of hurts. He's not running the Earth Legendary though, so that's not too bad. Nice stun, there's the Mind Games. This should be pretty good. He's not able to heal himself. Gonna go for a defensive fear here. Go for the kick. Nice, was able to bait the kick. There's the stun. Okay, we're gonna Battle Masters here. There's no kicks, there's only stuns that I have to worry about, so I'm free to flash heal until that wind shear is off, and he's gonna be focused on death! Yes! Woo! He's gonna be focused on death. I was gonna say he's gonna be focused on surviving. And then Shadow Word Death to finish him off. Yeah, the killing blow. Okay, Prayer of Mending. Renew, mount, and try to draw them away from Moon, but he's following me. Ooh, I got in combat, sweet! He can't set me. Take that. I'm gonna go ahead and stun him during his wings. Nice bear form. Okay, Trinket the Blind, so we can't follow up with a Sap. I'm gonna go ahead and Mind Games the Rouge. Oh my gosh. Did you see that? The instant double kill. That's not even fair. That's not even fair. That was so stupid. I don't even feel good about that. That was crazy. Hello. Oh. Oh, just barely missed it. I need to remember I can Death Repentance. Boy, that was delayed. And Repentance is such a long cooldown. Oh my gosh. Or so such a long CC. Stop it. Ooh, nice, nice cyclone. Is this dude AFK? Oh, he's AFK! Oh! No! Stop it! Oh! You flexing on us, dude? Okay. Alright. Mass. Appearing. Oh! Death! Yes! The Trinket Death! So risky, but so worth it. We did it. Oh, yeah. Yes! Moon, thank you so much for the games, dude. We freaking did it.